Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout. The Kayfabe is back with episode number 5, and I have my co-host right here with me right now. Elias, what's going on, sir?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Mr. Daniel?
Not much, man. Apologize for the tardiness today, man.
Oh
Long day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
man. I was looking forward to it. Something happened.
I know, my bad, man. We had a long day today, so a lot of conflicts here and there, but I wanted to get this hangout in. So we're gonna definitely get into it.
Are we live?
Yes, we are.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to unforeseen for me edition of Beyond the Kayfabe. I have about uh, I have about 20 minutes, and then
Yep.
so what's going on, Daniel? Dan, the man.
Yeah, come on, man. Gotta get used to my name, man. It's all good. We're good, man. It's good. Just gonna catch up on a few things, man. Gotta cut a couple of things to cover. I promise I'll get through it real quickly. But before we get into the Raw and SmackDown review, I have to say though, I have to say for the first time, I'll reserve my thoughts on the Raw and SmackDown reviews. But I would like to get into a couple news real quickly. It's not nothing too major going on as far as news is concerned. What I can tell you is that Leo Rush, one of the guys that we the guy that we covered that we spoke about the last couple of weeks or so, um,
Yes,
he has not been fired. Well, some people might
he have
find that
not.
a bit surprised. He's not. I'm not sure if he's been recommended. But yet, the reason why I'm asking and the reason why I'm saying that is because I've learned that he's actually they actually had him working with some matches on NXT last week. He's actually won his match, so
Hmm.
he hasn't been punished to where if he were to receive some type of reprimand or punishment, he would have to put a lot of guys over. So far he hasn't
Oh
put any
yeah.
guys over, but yet now he's
He's
well,
paying his dues. He's paying
he's
his
paying
due.
his
He's
dues,
paying his penance.
but to be honest with you, I don't know. I think that maybe the reason why they didn't want to fire him because they probably felt it was a bad example to fire a first time employee for making a mistake like that. I maybe
Yes.
maybe they made them look bad. I don't know. So maybe just issue a stern warning to don't do anything idiotic like that again. But again, what's so striking about that is that he removed all his references of WWE from his Twitter. So we assumed that he was
Hmm.
terminated at that time, but apparently he's
Yeah.
not. So what do you think? Do you think they should have fired him, or do you think they just should have kept him on and punished him?
I mean, Vince is all about business. Vince McMahon is all about business. We know that. You got to do something real bad to get. I mean, this young guy obviously he sees some potential in him for growth. And looking back at historically, we all know that Vince is known to take disciplinary action before he gets rid of someone. I mean, look at Randy Orton. He really got to the edge of it. I mean, he's got about 2.5 strikes. I think at one point he was displaying some risky and mischievous behavior in the company, and
Right.
he was almost out the door. And he really changed. So there is if I mean if the talent is there, if Vince sees the talent and the potential there, there's always room for change and for learning and for growing. I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I really think though. I really think that the reason why again, you mentioned this thing about Randy Orton. That's a very good point about that. Is because if it was any other guy who's not drawing, it's not what's the word I'm looking for? If he's not sold over the crowd, if he's not good in the ring, his mic skills are not good, Vince would have immediately had got rid of him. no question about it.
Right.
But then again,
Right.
there are some exceptions that can be made, like Ultimate Warrior, for example. Yes, believe it or not, yes, he
Right.
got fired twice from the company, but I heard he's got many chances. The reason why Vince never
Mhm.
fired the guy is because the fact that again, he was over the crowd and he can draw. That was a problem at the time, but you can only go so far with Leo. So the thing is that with Leo Rush, he's very good in the ring. His mic skills and everything is not there yet. We gotta give him time to develop that. But who knows, man? I don't know. Maybe I actually see he's very good in the ring. The man's got is very technical. He's very good. My skills is not there yet. Maybe Triple H sees something in this guy that Vince doesn't see yet. So that's probably why they're keeping him around. So yeah, like I said, I think some would argue, some would be surprised that he's
No, I don't know. I don't know much about this guy. Is he a green guy? Is he new? Is he ready to go to the next level? Tell me a little bit about this guy.
he's not green. He's been on the indie circuit for a long time. Maybe Madness knows who he is. Um, he's been on the indie
So
circuit for
basically, he's kind of made his name. He's kind of like a Daniel Bryan. He's coming in with some experience under his belt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's been on the Indies. He's been on the Indies for a long time, and he's been with the CCW for a long while as well. I remember that we discussed that in our last few weeks ago about the show that he had with his last match, where him and Joey Patella they had a ladder match. He took a power bomb off the ladder, and then he didn't sell
Also,
the
he's known
move.
for some craziness.
Yeah, that caused a lot of
Gotcha.
controversy. He didn't sell the move, and it was his last match with the company. But I guess it was just like to stick it to him type of situation where he didn't sell that move. And a lot of people were
Mm-hmm.
pissed off at him for doing that, including Jim Cornette. But I just think that perhaps Leo. I mean, Leo just got to stop. He's got. We don't need another Randy Orton. I mean, look, yeah, he's young. He may be a little bit immature. Perhaps that's the word I'm looking for. He's a little bit immature right now. Tough to say. I hate to say it, but luckily he's glad he's got another chance. Don't I hate to be blunt. Don't fuck this up, kid.
We'll see where it goes. We'll see. We'll see if he gets himself to the main roster. Now, before I leave you, I do want to hit on a few things. First of all, I was at Raw Live this week, as you all know, or maybe you
Yeah.
guys don't know.
Yeah.
I
Tell us
tried to
about it.
do
How
a
was it?
short bonus. The crowd was hot for some people.
Right.
But like the beginning with Angle, I thought Jordan and Roman was a strong match. I think they're doing a lot better with Jordan with his cocky personality coming out, with his heelish
Um.
personality coming out.
well, Jason
His
Jordan.
whiny. That's yeah.
Well, here's the
I
thing, though.
definitely
No,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I definitely enjoyed his in-ring. He's good in the ring, no doubt about that. But I think he was better in the tag team role in ring wise. But he's still a work in progress, and I commend them for not giving up on him and including him in as a big part of the angles right now, as a big part of the storyline that's going on, and not kind of pushing him to the side. And of course, I think they realize at this point that the whole Sun thing was not the right thing to do, and now they're trying to pick up the pieces of that and do what they can.
Right. And the thing about Jason Jordan, dude, somebody had asked me about this. A friend of mine. He asked me, "Do you think, Dan? Do you really think that he's getting what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Do you think that Jason Jordan is getting more heat than Roman Reigns? It seems like he's getting more heat than him now. Roman Reigns is pretty much off the hook at this point. It's like whenever this
Oh
guy
well,
comes up,
Roman. I'll tell you about the response Roman gets. He got pops in LA. LA is not like the rest of the country when it comes to Roman.
right?
He didn't get the loudest cheer of the night. That goes to a pre-recorded segment by Matt Hardy, believe it or not. But especially at the end of the night when he came out, I don't know if that was on camera or the cameras shut off already at that point. But people don't hate him, and so I think this teaming him up with the Shield definitely, although he still gets some boos, it definitely is doing what Vince planned it to do, which is get Roman liked again before WrestleMania, when he is most likely going to be in the main event again.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It could be. It could be. That's a possibility. I mean, but the thing is, too, you and I both know that the WWE. I'm not gonna say the word universe because it sounds so freaking corny, man. I don't know why can't we just say fans when Vince doesn't like to have that word. Fans. The WWE fans or wrestling fans, by that matter, as a whole, as general, don't like to see the same guys be recycled into the main event spotlight, getting bigger pushes. You know what I mean? I'm not getting bigger pushes, getting big pushes like they've already gotten before. It's about time to see some new blood, man. If anybody deserves a push, I mean, Jason Jordan definitely, definitely deserves a pretty good push. Definitely the fact that he's getting a lot of heat out of it is getting over it with the crowd. Let's be honest, it is. He's not a face. I mean, that's the whole idea of it. He's not a face. He's going to go heel
Yeah.
against Kurt, so that's a good thing. Um, the cruiserweight, you're not the cruiserweights. Let me get that out the way. I have to give you my thoughts on the cruiserweights, but as far as who deserves another push in the main event spotlight, I, well, look, we haven't talked about Brock Lesnar. He's at home with the title. So, Braun Strowman deserves a push. I mean, he deserves a championship push, in my opinion. Braun
Oh
Strowman
yeah,
is,
Braun gets a big reaction. I mean, when he came out, that was one of the biggest reactions of the night. Unfortunately, we didn't get Kane to show up. We got a video
yeah,
live. We didn't get Hardy or Bray to show up. We got a pre-recorded video. But it worked. It worked in the storyline, and we've definitely got enough star power. At least we got to see Kurt. But
right.
Corey Graves did a new show, and it was just like a 15-minute little interview with Roman Reigns. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah.
And Roman made some controversial comments. I don't know if you heard about this.
Oh, no, no, did not catch it. Well, what did he say?
Something to the effect of Corey Graves kind of asked him what he thinks about himself. Is he the top guy? Is he the best? And he kind of said, yeah, definitely. Every day of the week, I'm the number one guy, and not only that, I'm the best worker. I'm the best wrestler in this business. And then he's like, you may think I'm crazy, or you may think I have a point. Just watch all my matches in the past year and a half.
Well,
And people got a little out of sorts about that,
well,
as
I
you can tell.
mean, well, well, he may have a point there. And let me just be honest here. Do I think Roman Reigns is the best worker I've seen? Absolutely not. But despite the heat that he's gotten over the last 3 or 4 years, I say maybe 3 years the most, going on to 4, he actually puts on very good matches. Despite whether you like him or not, he puts on damn good matches. John Cena,
I
he's
mean,
like a John Cena
he's
if
at
you
the
think
top.
about it.
He's at the top of his game. Definitely, you don't get to the top of the card by accident, in my opinion. And to be the devil's advocate again, if you don't have a high opinion of yourself like that,
Yeah.
then you won't get far. So I think kudos to him for believing in his own hype. I think. I mean, obviously, a lot of people may disagree with me.
No, yeah, well, you know what? You could have a point there, but I just think that I don't know, man. I just think that I'm gonna just be frankly honest here. I don't understand what did Roman Reigns do to deserve to get the heat that he's gotten over the last 3 years. I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? Um, I just think that I don't know. I guess let me just go ahead and play devil's advocate here. I think that from his standpoint, he doesn't understand what he's doing to get heat. He's doing the best he could do to get over. He is getting over, but more in a negative way though. And then you have the John Cena's in the world. When John Cena, we have the urban rap gimmick, which people got accustomed to with the basic thugonomics and all that stuff. People just got grown
Well,
tired of it. And the fact is that from Vince's perspective, he just can't understand what do people want. And he's like, you know what, forget it, man. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm gonna do things my way.
I'm the only commercial wrestling company in the world technically. So
Cena had different phases, but I don't think Reigns is up there with the Stone Cold or a Shawn Michaels. I think Cena is, but
yeah,
I don't
Cena's
think
up there.
Reigns is. But Reigns has a long, time left to kind of improve. He's still, even though he's been on top for a little while
Right.
already, he's still fairly young.
Yeah. He's still young. He's still very young, but I think at one point, sometime, they need to turn him. He needs to go back to being heel. He needs to go back being heel. I'm gonna just be honest. And I have a feeling though that one of the Shield members are going to go heel on one another again.
I
And
don't
some
think
people
they're
are going,
gonna split him up that soon though, because I think they want Roman to get the best reaction he can possibly get going into WrestleMania against Brock, and this is a strategy that Vince is using.
that's a good point.
Speaking of heel turns though, what do you think about the stipulation for the pay-per-view next Sunday? When Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn take on, who are they taking on?
Randy Orton
Nakamura
and
and Randy Orton.
well,
They
is it
lose, they get
confirmed
fired, and
Nakamura though? Or is it confirmed
not just
Nakamura?
moved from
Wait,
SmackDown. Yeah,
hold on, hold
Nakamura and
on.
Orton.
Yeah, but hold on, real quick. Is it Nakamura? Because I thought that was just a rumor. We don't know yet.
No, they confirmed it at the end of SmackDown.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
there's a stipulation that if Owens and Zayn lose, they're getting fired. Not only that, but they're not just getting fired from SmackDown. They are getting fired from the company. And
Wow.
so Shane put himself in as the special guest referee.
Uh-huh.
Now, Daniel Bryan's involved in the storyline. As we know, he's greatly involved in the storyline.
Yeah.
I don't think Bryan is going to wrestle. And if he is going to wrestle, because there's some health has improved and he may get cleared, it won't happen in the near future.
Right.
There are rumblings that Shane McMahon is indeed going to turn heel at the show and form a new corporation type of group with Owens and Zayn, and I think that would be a brilliant strategy.
Now, you know what? I
Shane
heard
McMahon,
that's the rumor I heard, but and some people also threw around the word that Daniel Bryan might go heel. He
that
may
wouldn't
go
work.
heel.
It wouldn't work.
Why
It
not?
wouldn't work.
Why you don't think it'll work?
He gets cheered too much. I don't think that's what they're planning. I don't
Hmm.
think that's what they're planning. I don't think they're planning for him to wrestle for sure. But I see your point there too, because the Bryan thing would fit in with Zayn and Owens as the indie darlings, kind of.
Right. Right. I just don't like the idea of Shane and Owens because and saying let me just tell you why because Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon had some brutal matches together. For number one. There's the good chemistry there. Number two, Shane McMahon has been berating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for weeks now, berating them, by suspending them, removing them from the ring, throwing them out of the arena, all these type of things. Then all of a sudden he flips the script just like that and aligns himself with them. That makes no sense to me, to be honest with you. That really makes
You're
no
talking about
sense.
Shane McMahon?
Yeah, Shane then all of a sudden aligns himself with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. No,
That
that
makes
to
no
me.
sense, but it didn't make sense back at the time when they did it with Mick Foley and The Rock, where they screwed Foley over and they formed the corporation, but it worked. It did
Well,
work.
Well, you know what? That's a good point. That's somewhat of a good point. You got me there on that one. But I was kind of thinking about how they back in 2001 in WrestleMania 20 was it WrestleMania 17? I think. Yeah, WrestleMania 17 in 2001 when they Stone Cold Steve Austin went heel at the end of the show, and it was a stupid. At some people felt that was a dumbass heel turn
Well, he
because
was the biggest face in the company. Shane is kind of dormant right now. He's kind of not doing much.
yeah,
He's not.
but
It's not working. He's not connecting as a
yeah,
face.
but to me though, to have him align himself with Owens and Zayn, that doesn't make no sense to me. Not at this point. It doesn't. It makes more sense for Daniel Bryan and can and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It makes more sense for them to align themselves. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Speaking of
We'll
Daniel
see.
Bryan, the
We'll
rumor is
definitely see.
what's up?
we'll definitely see what happens. I think you'll be shocked.
Well, I probably would, man. I know the pay-per-view's this Sunday at the Clash of Champions. I'll be definitely tuning into that. But the rumor mill is that Daniel Bryan may be leaving because he wants to compete again in the ring. I know we just touched upon it just a second ago.
In Clash of the Champions this Sunday or next?
No. He's not performing. Not at Clash of Champions. No. The rumor mill is that his contract is going to expire pretty soon, and he's looking to leave the company.
Bryan?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan. Yes.
Oh yeah, well if he leaves and goes elsewhere, then he'll definitely wrestle. But it remains to be seen what they allow him to do. I don't think they're going to allow him to compete, to be honest. And I think, I think he may end up leaving. I agree with that. I don't know how soon. He may get a contract extension. They do that sometimes. Is Clash of Champions this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's this weekend. Let me check the date. Hold on. I think it is.
I don't think.
But you know what?
I don't think it's this.
Yeah, while I'm doing that, though, I think the reason why they are very skeptical of bringing him back to the ring because they don't want another. I hate to say this, they don't want another Chris Benoit episode. That's because we all know what happened at that time.
They want to be careful.
Yeah.
But they could have a superstar sign a waiver that they agree that it's unsafe for them to compete. They could cover their asses if they wanted to.
That is a true.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I'm sure if Shane can do it, Brian can, and I'm not saying wrestle full-time schedule or anything like that, but he can handle a few matches. If Kurt Angle can do it, I mean, Angle has been banged up. He hasn't had much luck when it comes to in-ring competition-wise lately, but yeah, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I would love to see Daniel Bryan come back in the ring, man. I think it kind of sickens him that he's got to be doing this out of the ring camera, out of the ring angles and stuff like that. I know he just kind of gets so disturbed to see these guys perform, and he's like, man, I need to get back in that ring, but it's been he's been retired for 3 years now, 2 years now, 3 years.
Oh no, February 2016 is when he retired.
Of this year?
Last year.
That's what I thought.
It's been about 2 years.
Yeah, it's been technically he's been out of the ring for 2 years. So yeah. Actually, the Clash of Champions is the Clash of Champions is the following Sunday, not this Sunday.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah, to me though.
So I'm gonna be heading out soon, but I did want to touch on one thing, real quick. Well, two things. How do you compare Roman Reigns to AJ Styles right now in their respective brands? I think both guys are the top guys right now. But who do you? I mean, obviously Roman's ahead, but in ring wise, he's no AJ.
Well, to be honest with you, I cannot disagree. I mean, they are the top two guys of each brand, respectively. AJ Styles is obviously way over, way over, and
way over. Yeah.
To me, though, it would hurt. I know Roman's the star right now, and he's got the Intercontinental title push. To me, though, I think that, dude, it's just disturbing to me. They're giving this guy the Intercontinental title while Brock Lesnar is at home with the world title. That's bullshit, in my opinion. I'm just being honest.
Oh yeah.
It's bullshit.
They're just prepping him. They're just prepping him for Brock. Basically.
Yeah, but still, though, man, we have to really bear this situation. We've been dealing with this for almost 2 years now. That we got a guy who's a world champion. He's a part-timer. He gets to go home and sit with the title. That's crazy. I mean, I don't understand that. He just stripped the goddamn title from the guy if he's not going to compete, man. I don't think he really cares.
It's obvious that WrestleMania is the time that that's going to happen.
Right.
And it's obvious they're building up Reigns. And I don't agree with this because this match kind of already happened and it's not exciting.
No, I think Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar need to be built up. That's a match people want to see again. That was a damn good match.
That may happen down the line. That may happen down the line again.
That may happen down the line. I think Samoa Joe deserves a world title push. He's way over with the crowd. It's funny though. All these old former TNA guys all coming in, like Bobby Roode. I think Bobby Roode is going to be a big star. Well, I believe he will. Bobby Roode. Samoa
Yeah.
Joe, AJ Styles, those guys coming in and they're just like taking over. That's just amazing. you know?
Well, the other thing I wanted to touch on before I go is Sheamus. News that he has spinal stenosis, which is,
Yeah.
if you guys don't know, it's the same injury. It's pretty much a debilitating neck injury that Edge and Steve Austin and Chris Benoit suffered from. Of course, they did compete after they had surgery for this, but they were never the same after that, and it did eventually lead to their retirement. Um, that being the case, how long do you think Sheamus has left? And looking back, do you think they didn't do enough with him as a top guy
Uh,
that they could have done more?
well, you know what? He got a very big push early in his career. He was a world champion. He's a 3-time, 4-time world champion. He's been a tag champion. He's been an Intercontinental champion. He's been
But
a
lately,
lately.
yeah,
I can't say they. Scott. Yeah, I know. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Lately, I don't think they really
he's been.
misused him. They haven't really
I mean, he's been
misused him.
good as in a tag team, but
Yeah,
only that, that he's caught on, and obviously that's where they left him at because he's caught on there. Where's that?
yeah. I mean, let me just put it this way: he's pretty much got the pushes. I mean, he's made the best out of those pushes. You can't knock him for that. But as far as WWE, I think they didn't go far with him as they should have. I would say that they did not do that.
And he's one of
So
Triple H's boys.
he is. It's Shawn Michaels guys too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Triple H are both high on the guy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's yeah. But hey, that doesn't really save you because look at D'Lo Brown. He was a Triple H guy. And look what happened to him. you know, I hate to bring that up, but that's the truth. But the thing is too is that Sheamus, from the looks of it, he is going to retire. I don't think he's. I mean, if you see him in the ring against against the Shield, Ambrose and Rollins that night on last Monday, he was
Where
taking
did
it
it end?
very
Where
easy.
at what point did the show end?
It ended at that match. That was the last match of the night.
No, I mean where did it end? Did it end with them going into the crowd with the belts,
Oh
or
no no
did it?
no!
Because
It's a funny ending. Well, funny. It's a strange ending. Sheamus purposely got disqualified, right? So
yeah,
obviously we know the rule that despite losing on a disqualification as a champion, you don't lose the title, which is to me is a stupid rule, but it is what it is. So Kurt Angle comes out and says that, well, you guys think you gonna walk away with the titles that easily? No 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 no. First things first, this match will restart, and not only that it will restart, this time it will be a no disqualification match. So the match resumes. The Samoa Joe comes out, then tries to attack Ambrose and Rollins, and then Roman Reigns comes out. Then he tries to go after Samoa Joe, and then he did the Superman punch on
I know all
Cesaro.
that. But how did it end? What was the end of the show?
Well, the end of the show is that the end of the show is that Sheamus did the Brock kick on, I think it was on Rollins or Ambrose, and then he brought Cesaro over to cover, and they retained the titles that way. And that was the end of
And
the
they
show.
ran
Right?
into the crowd, right?
Yep,
Joe
yep,
interfered, right?
yeah. They ran into the crowd. Yep,
Joe interfered, and there was a big brawl, right?
yeah, that's what happened.
Because after all that, there was more. There was more that didn't make it on camera. Roman came out. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I did
And
not quite. I didn't catch that one. No.
Joe came out. You didn't see that part?
Yeah, I did see that one. I did see that one.
So then Roman, Seth, and Dean had a little fun with Sheamus. They were playing with his mohawk. Then they all did their finishers on him, and then they were playing to the crowd, and then they got a table, and they did the triple powerbomb shield thing through the table. So they had a
Yeah.
little fun after the show for the live crowd.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a Shield. Always having a little fun at the end every time they lose a match, but it is what it is. But again, man, I mean to be honest with you, that was the highlight of one of the highlights of that show. And I have to say this though, man. For the last few weeks, I've been giving SmackDown the edge over Raw, but I have to say this Raw show is actually a lot better, but a bit better than SmackDown.
They love LA.
Huh?
And SmackDown's coming to LA February 27th. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Let me see. I have nothing on my schedule, so I'll definitely can make it. So we'll definitely get
The
over.
first Smackdown in like 7 years, I think, in LA.
Really? That long?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well.
Well, with that, I'm gonna have to bow out.
All right, bud.
But I'm gonna
All
let
right,
Daniel
Dan the
carry on the
man.
rest of this thing. Dan here, Dan the Man, and all those other code names. Any last questions for me, or anything like that?
No. I just want to say thank you for coming on as usual. Definitely got more, more to come at, after this episode. Yeah, man. Definitely got a lot more to cover, by next week. So
Yeah,
I
let's
appreciate.
let's plan for next Wednesday or Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, definitely got Thursday coming up
Maybe
because
Wednesday or Friday.
Wednesday or Friday, whatever day's good for you, man, I'll be there. We'll get it done. All right.
All right, all right. Well, good to check in with you guys and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
And try to get
Yes,
Madness on there.
yes, I will.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of the conversation.
All right. So, all right, everyone. That was Elias. He's going to be taking off for now. So, let me go ahead and conclude this right here. As far as the Raw and SmackDown reviews, or actually, before I get into that, other news. Neville. I know some people are reporting on Neville's current status right now. Now, according to a report from WPW Insider, there are recent negotiations going on between Neville and the WWE for him to return. But however, those negotiations had abruptly stopped. It says here the conversations between the two were said to be positive, and apparently was planned for Neville to rejoin the company at the end of last month's European tour. So actually, this was a while back. However, the plan for Neville to return to action on SmackDown Live, a move that would have taken him away from 205 Live. All these conversations have now stopped, and Neville's long-term future with the WWE is now back up in the air. Uh, Looks like this thing's going to be dragged out for a very, very, very long time. And to be honest with you, though, to be honest with you, I got all the respect for world for 205 Live, the cruiserweight. So it's 205 pounds and under, in case people don't know what that is. Neville is too big for that division. What I mean by that is that he's too over with the crowd. He's too, I mean, he just, I don't know. It's kind of like a Rey Mysterio type of situation where Rey Mysterio was way too over for the crowd for him to be in the cruiserweight division. And the talent that they had him go up against, I mean, look, there were good talents back then, the cruiserweights. But the problem is that Rey Mysterio was just way bigger than that division. So that's the reason why they eliminated that. And Rey Mysterio himself was involved with in matches against the Giants. You know, he was involved with Brock Lesnar. He was involved with Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle on multiple occasions, Randy Orton, Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, R.I.P. So whatnot. And Chris Benoit, we all know he's deceased as well. But Neville, I don't think he needs to be in 205 Live if he returns. I think that was one of the situations why he walked out because he felt that he was way too over, which was true to be at 205 Live, being the cruiserweight divisions. And he probably felt that he should have been put on, he should be in line to get a push for a world title, the heavyweight world titles. So um, it's sad to see where, to see this situation as it is. But from the look, from my, if you ask me, though, I really think that Neville will return. I just don't think they'll announce it because you know how things are these days. The WWE doesn't like how information gets leaked. They like to keep things very, very private. So, yeah, we'll hope for the best. Now, anyways, Raw. And like I just said a second ago, I have to give Raw's thumbs up, man. Though this was a very, very good show. Jason, Jason Jordan's getting all this heat from the crowd, even as a face. But obviously he will go heel eventually, from the looks of it. But despite the heat that he gets, the man can compete in the ring. He's a damn good performer. Mic skills definitely it's a work in progress, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Definitely a work in progress. Now, the highlight of the show, I would say, is not only the tag match that ended it with the bar, which is Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Shield Ambrose and Rollins, and Rollins, they were trying to get back their titles. But I will also have to say the Cruiserweight 205 live matches with Cedric Alexander and Ali and others um, who partaken in that match. I must say, wow. I mean, that match was just that match right there was just phenomenal. And like I said, it was a damn good match. Could I say it stole the show? Perhaps because of the magnitude of moves. All I gotta say is Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Drew Gorlock, and Tony Nese. Of course, the ending of the match is that Drew Gulak had stole the pin, stole that match after Cedric Alexander hit his finisher on the Mustafa Ali and Tony Nese, whatnot. And the winner of that was a contenders match, and the winner of that match advances to the next round of the Cruiserweight tournament. And he'll be facing Rich Swann, who won his match the previous week, and who the winner of the tournament gets to face Enzo Amore. Ah, boy. I like Enzo, but he's definitely not a pretty good. He's not a good competitor, but he's a damn in-ring competitor. That is what I mean. Or what did I say? Competitor. Let's just say informer. I mean performer. Damn, tongue tied here. But he definitely is damn good on the mic. So we got to give Enzo credit for that. He definitely knows how to do well on the mic. Anyhow, excuse me for a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Back to where I was saying. So, if I were to grade Raw, I would say I would give it a B, B plus. I think it was a damn good show. It was nearly an A. It was a lot of great matches. Great. It was a great angle storyline with Kurt Angle and his on-screen son Jason Jordan, whatnot. Elias versus Braun Strowman. I have to say one thing about Elias, man. Elias is so damn good. He can work the mic. He can wrestle. He definitely got the look. I mean, the guy. I mean, please don't turn that guy's face, man. The guy is just too good of a heel, man. He just pisses you off so much every time you look at the guy. Every time he goes on that guitar and start, reciting some of his songs. I mean, gotta say the man's good with that guitar. He's a man with a lot of talents. I know he had to job to Braun Strowman, but still, though, at the end of the day, he's definitely in line to get a big push. In my opinion, he deserves it. So I think Elias is definitely going to be one of the big stars of the Raw or even the entire WWE. So I see a lot of promise in the kid. Now on to SmackDown. For the first time, ever since we've been hosting this podcast on Beyond the Kayfabe channel, Free for All, I would have to say that, in my opinion, Raw just kind of lacked. I mean, SmackDown kind of lacked for Raw. Definitely good matches as always. I don't know, just the energy of SmackDown wasn't quite there, in my opinion. It wasn't quite there. I guess the highlight of that show is the fact that Shane McMahon had announced that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will be competing at the Clash of Champions as a tag team against Randy Orton and his partner of his choosing. And as Elias had just stated, that the rumored partner is, or is actually confirmed according to Shane McMahon, is Shinsuke Nakamura. So definitely interesting, man. Definitely to see Nakamura back in there, competing. I definitely think he deserves a title push, man. I don't care what anybody says. Nakamura deserves one. I don't know why WWE is reluctant to put the title on him, but I think he does deserve it, in my opinion. Of course, the other highlight is the New Day versus Rusev Day, Aiden English. Man, I mean, it was a good match. I mean, New Day, any match with New Day is going to give you a lot of oohs and ahs and close falls, whatnot. And Rusev Day actually won by pinfall, which is a good Mojo Rally. Uh, okay. All I gotta say is that it was very surprising to see Mojo Rally attack Zack Ryder the way he did. You know, it was good angle, played out. You know, goodly craft. Well written in a way. So he's going heel, but the promo was just to me it was just so flat. I don't know what Mojo Rawley was doing. To me, I just think that I don't know. I guess he's just trying to get used to becoming a heel because I guess he's so used to being a face. I don't know, man. It just seems to me it was a bit off. I just don't know. That was a bit off to me. But then again, the highlight of Smackdown. I mean, a lot of good matches here and there, but the highlight was the Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn match. It was a lot of a lot of close falls, whatnot. So, and Nakamura did come out at the end of the show to help Randy Orton can say because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had attacked Randy Orton at the end of the show. Mind you, Kevin Owens was handcuffed to the ring so that way he couldn't interfere in the match. But obviously, apparently he tried to. And then, of course, Randy Orton outsmarted him. So, very good show. But Raw was definitely better, in my opinion. So, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this hangout, this live stream for now. Until next time, this is Beyond the Kayfabe Free for All channel. I'm your host, Dan the Man Boxing. I know Elliot keep calling me Daniel. And LES, who did stop by for a few. I really appreciate him for doing that. So next Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be back with our other review and some more news, and we'll definitely have some uploads as well within the week. So other than that, we are out. Peace.